local languages, where if it is Venda, Kalanga, or Shona, whatever, we come up with IEC materials so that they can have that. So women in the communities, they can articulate some of the things that I was sharing with you now. We have done a lot, but like I was saying, you know, the cultural norms, we are still trying to deconstruct them, but we have made inroads and we continue making inroads, but we have made steady progress. But very good question, thanks for that.
Thank you so much. I am the keeper of time, so I will ask that we round off the panel of discussion. Of course, there's a lot of edifying information that we've got to share, and I would like to assume that we've got, I'm getting begging hands for one more question. So I will take one more question, and I will ask the question in a jiffy so that we can, you know, carry on with our program. Please, can you roll over a mic to the lady on the third row?
Thank you. Some will say Apple, all protocols observed. My name is Livia, and my question is on pricing. How are you managing pricing and staying competitive when your products are fully paid on duty and you are compliant, while others with similar products are getting their products through Mkoto routes and they're very much lower prices? What pricing strategies are we working without compromising business sustainability? Like what Queen said, there is need for continuity. How do you continue when your prices are far much higher than others that are getting products through Mkoto?
Over to you, Queen.
Thank you very much for that. But I would go back to Girl Child, just add 2-3 seconds of that time. We have, right now, we have donated our plants because as an entrepreneur, you also need to be donating. So we have managed to donate, like I said, banana meal into the hospitals, into the children's ward and maternity ward. So they're getting free ufu right now. And into the schools, I've donated 54 schools in Zimbabwe. I am educating the Girl Child, and also remember, the chiefs are also giving the land. So with that land, I am trying to round up Zimbabwe to make sure that those that have been given the land, give them 10 plants, because I started with 50, so that they can continue. And like you're asking, how then do we keep up with the market? I then go to the council, which is closer to them, say to them, this products that you're doing, the bananas, you're going to need to sell them. And we are going to determine our market. We will determine our market because no one is going to control our market. We are going to tell them this is what we're going to sell it. So if you go to the council, I educate them that they all get their permits so that when the vendors are selling, they're not going to get their goods taken away, running in losses. In town, the same thing. We've got so many vendors that are selling for me in different towns, my products. So this is the market strategy that I have put in to say, how do I sell my things without running into the taxman? Because all the vendors, I'm creating employment, number one. Number two, with all those vendors working for me in the villages, in towns, everywhere, in buses. As you see, bananas are there. When you're going to court, you buy bananas. When you're going to hospital, you buy bananas. When you're traveling with kids, you buy bananas. So all those people are under my employment. So the taxmen, as much as they take away from me, I am still left with the profit. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, please could I have a round of applause for the panelists on this discussion? As they make their way back to the floor, I will ask that once again we put our hands together as a round of applause for the panelists. And help me welcome Diana Carter to the stage. She is the Chief of Missions, IOM Immigrations. We will be hearing from her as she comes to the stage. Round of applause.
Good morning. I it's very hard to follow after such an esteemed panel with so many incredible women and incredible discussions, many of which I will touch upon. So hopefully is not a repetition, or if it is, at least it's one that can generate further discussions. It's as Erica mentioned, my name is Diana Cartier, and I am the Chief of Mission for the International Organization for Migration, which is the UN Agency on Migration. It is a great honor for me to be here today, surrounded by so many incredible women and men, all of you with your stories of growth, your stories of success, probably some failure, with a lot of energy to keep going, to keep being creative, innovative, and to pursue your dreams. I too want to thank Shama and the whole team at Zimbabwe Women in Business Forum and Awards for giving me this opportunity to be with you today. And let me also acknowledge all protocols. Thank you. This is an important moment, not just because it's Women's Month, but also because it is a moment to seek out Zimbabwe's potential and the entrepreneurs leading the charge. Today's event is about scale up and business expansion, and I want to propose a twist which actually has been repeated in the panel, which is that scaling is not just about capital and strategy. It is about community and it's about ecosystems. Let me illustrate with a question. How many of you have built your businesses completely alone? I see no hands. There is no business that can truly scale in isolation. And I want to share a few stories that show you exactly what I mean. Unikutele is a Nigerian fashion designer, and you can find her on Instagram. She trained in Italy and now leads a high-end fashion brand from Abuja. Last year, she traveled to Yola, which is in eastern Nigeria, to visit a displacement settlement, a community of internally displaced people that are supported by an IOM community center that is equipped with sewing machines. The women and the men there were already seamstresses and tailors, producing garments for the local market. Unikotele did not see competitors. She saw collaborators. She has since agreed to partner with IOM and provide advanced training in high-end fashion design and tailoring, with a plan to integrate these artisans into her future collections. She is building a business, she is building a community, she is not choosing between the two. What changed was not just her business model, it was also her ecosystem. This is compelling for me because it shows how growth is not linear, how one can succeed while driving real social and economic impact, and continue to grow one's network in sometimes the not so obvious places, such as a displacement settlement. This story also speaks to a larger moment we are in. Development assistance has already decreased by about 20% in Zimbabwe, and in some sectors even more. The expectation is growing that private sector will fill the gap. This is a decisive moment for you as businesswomen. How do you want to run your business? What impact do you want to have? Can you too build a business and your community? One of the greatest strengths of the Zimbabwean diaspora is connection, bringing ideas, markets, and opportunities across borders. And it was very exciting to hear Banana Queen's experience and also read about her and her experience as a diasporan and returning home. The diasporans last year sent home to Zimbabwe over $2.7 billion. That was more than foreign direct investments and development assistance combined. Most of these remittances go towards immediate family needs: groceries, electricity, school fees, all of which are necessary. But opportunities would grow if the remittances could also be turned into investments that help strengthen and benefit communities. But there's still more that diaspora can offer that is not just financial. It's their networks, it's their knowledge, their exposure to how things are done elsewhere. That same mindset of connection is just as powerful right here in this room. Networks are not nice to have. They are growth infrastructures. The most practical thing I can ask of you today before you leave is to identify 2, 3, or 5 women you will actively exchange opportunities with. Not just business cards, but a real commitment to support, to refer, and to grow together. Let me tell you a story about Amal. Amal runs a small sewing business in a rural village in Tunisia, specializing in traditional embroidery. She works in a region that's particularly marred by high unemployment as well as outward migration. Through an IOM project called Mobitre, which is between Tunisia and Italy, Amal was connected with a Tunisian diaspora investor based in Italy, and with a business consulting firm that provided training in marketing, storytelling, and how to scale a growing enterprise. Today, she has expanded her business and employs 5 women as apprentices. She's also been introduced to a social enterprise in Germany, and she secured a major order, which has ensured steady work throughout the year, and she's already planning on hiring more women. This is one woman, one village, one connection, and the ecosystem has expanded across 3 countries. Movement creates opportunities, but the connection turns it into growth. At IOM, we also work with returnees, people who have come back, sometimes in a vulnerable state, yet still carrying hope, potential, and experience. Emiliana dreamed of owning her own restaurant, and in 2012, she took a leap of faith and moved to Johannesburg to seek culinary experiences. She worked for 8 years in South African kitchens before deciding to return to her village in Zaka district and start her own opportunities. This was challenging. It was during COVID, and reintegration was hard. IOM was able to support her with a bit of livelihood assistance. She chose a food stall cooking project, which included various equipment that she would need in order to open a stall. She also received some business skills training. Now, she runs a small catering business and has a food stall in Chinorumba Business Center near her village, catering to a wide range of customers, selling both food as well as vegetables from various farmers around her. Diaspora and returnees are not burden, they are bridges to the skills, to markets, and to the kind of global sisterhood that crosses provinces and borders. Both Amal and Emiliana's stories happened because someone built a bridge. This is one of the things that IOM does. We are present in over 170 countries, including obviously right here in Zimbabwe, and we work at the intersection of migration, livelihoods, and economic growth. We connect diaspora investors with local entrepreneurs, as in the case of Amal. We support women-led businesses with training and market linkages. And we help returnees like Emiliana turn their experiences into enterprise. But we cannot build these bridges alone. The most durable solutions are not built by governments or UN agencies or NGOs. They are built in partnership with businesses like yours. Our private sector partnerships are deliberately flexible, whether through mentoring, expertise, training space, or co-investment. We design collaboration around what you do best. You bring market and innovation. We bring global network, policy access, and the communities you may not otherwise reach. A few weeks ago, I had the privilege of witnessing the graduation of 400 young people in Beitbridge district. They had completed 6 months of vocational training in 9 different sectors, including cosmetology, welding, catering, plumbing, solar maintenance, baking, catering. And over 76% of those 400 young people were women. And all of them participated in different sectors, including the ones that we normally consider traditionally male-dominated training skills. They were supported by local businesses and experts who provided training and mentorship. By the time their course had ended, 30 of them had already secured employment. IOM and our partner, Young Africa Zimbabwe, are continuing to build their networks, create pathways to opportunity, and encourage further partnerships with private sector. Some will also become entrepreneurs like yourselves. Those young women remind me of something. The skills, the expertise, the experience in that moment, and in this room today, it did not appear from nowhere. Someone opened a door. Someone made an introduction. Someone took a chance on them and possibly on some of you today as well. I would encourage you to use today as that opportunity, not just to grow your own network, but to think about who you can bring along, who is not in this room today, and how might you open the door for her. I started by asking about how you ran your business and how business started. I want to leave you with 3 ideas about the role that you play, not just as business owners, but as architects of growth. First, you are connectors. You link people to opportunities, markets, and information. Second, you are trust builders. You create the relationships that make partnerships and transactions possible. Third, you are ecosystem anchors. You hold networks together, support others, including your families and community, and enable more businesses to grow around you. This is how business moves from starting up to scaling, not alone, but through strong, connected ecosystems. I am truly honored and privileged to be around you today, amongst you today. And I look forward to continuing to be inspired by the talks today, by building my own network, and by possibly being a strategic partner for some of you. Scaling a business is not just about how far you can go alone. It's about how far we can go together. And if we build that community intentionally, there is no limit to what women in Zimbabwe can achieve. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, another round of applause for Diana Cartier. Before we continue, I'd like to extend a warm welcome to those who have just joined us. You did not miss out on the magic, you just joined it. You've arrived to a powerful moment in a room full of purpose. I will ask for you to allow me to the stage a presentation from Client Shore. And straight after the presentation, we do take a tea break. I do know that we are digesting and taking in a lot of edifying information and words of wisdom. So as they make way to the stage, please can we give a round of applause for Client Shore.
Starting a business can be challenging, but with our personal loans from Client Shore, Maria opened her jewelry business, and now she's thriving and creating employment. When little Tabo got sick, his family...
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you so much for a beautiful morning, Shama. In most businesses, most business persons forget the importance of ensuring protection over their businesses. In the pursuit of business growth and expansion, we tend to focus on making money that we forget how to be protected. We as Client Shore, we are here to ensure that your well-being is our commitment. As ClientSure, we are offering a platform for insurance in health, in life, and in medical aid. As ClientSure Medical Aid, we ensure that you are covered. We are offering premiums in ZIG and in USD. We are offering premiums that can ensure organizational growth. As business women, I urge you to join ClientSure. I urge you to visit our stand outside to ensure continuity, riding on CP, who has said that make sure that you get your houses in order. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get our houses in order by making sure that we are insured. At ClientSure, we ensure that you are a sure client. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Going to ClientSure there. I did say that in a room full of a lot of magic, a lot of wisdom. We do and will be taking a tea break, a much needed one. But for us to speedily move with our program, I will ask that, it is a nice meet and greet time as well. I do understand, exchanging contacts, networking as well. But if we could just speed it up a little bit so that we can carry on with our program in a jiffy. I will ask you to move row by row so that we don't overwhelm each other. And I will see you after the tea break. Thank you. We will start with the middle row and in linear